Welcome to Talking Shop, the show that goes over all the things in the news that would affect you if you were selling online. Today we're talking about...
We're talking.
Come on!
I wasn't expecting you to drop it off me.
Yeah,
I
go
thought
on.
you start off the.
No, go
we're
on.
talking about how people are going to have to be coaxed back to work. Are you actually going to want to go back to work?
We're also talking about Etsy, who are sneakily putting more charges in there and actually charging you to pay their advertising costs for getting you business.
Yeah.
We're also talking about...
Whether we'll ever shake hands again. Do you think we're going to touch each other? Do you think we're going to stay social distancing?
And we're also talking about just the pending global recession. You know, is this going to cause a massive global recession, and what can we do about it? Okay, welcome to Talking Shop. My name's Anthony Chesworth. I am the CEO and founder of ekm.com, which is an e-commerce platform that lets anyone sell online. And today I'm joined by Alison.
I'm Alison Chesworth and I head up the talent at ekm.com.
Yeah,
that's me.
And we're doing it again from home, as I'm sure everybody is, because of the lockdown. We're on week 7, is it week 8?
I'm on day 48.
Yeah, day 48.
Day 48.
I think it's week 7 or week 8.
Which is my metric.
Yeah, and so we're doing it from home, so there are children running around, so we might get disturbed and stuff. But yeah, so the first story I'd like to talk about today is this one that obviously the government and Boris Johnson, everyone, is trying to coax people back to work. We're expecting an announcement, aren't we, on Sunday, of them trying to lighten up restrictions a little bit and get certain industries back to work. And it's about that, really.
It is. They said they didn't expect so many people to just kind of down shop and stop.
Yeah, well,
that's kind of like what's happened.
But did they though? Because I've read that where they're saying, a lot of people saying it's a bit of a rumour thing, that they weren't expecting as many people to be furloughed as they actually did.
Right.
And so now he's got this bill, it's panicking because they said, didn't they? Well, they did. They were very clear to say stay at home. If you can work from home, work from home. But But it was that phrase, wasn't it? If you can work from home, work from home. And what a lot of businesses took it as is, right, we'll shut it down because they can't work from home. We shut it down.
A lot of manufacturing businesses could never work from home.
No, but they just shut down, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because obviously they're looking after the safety of the team and stuff. But I don't think the government expected people to maybe go as far as they did.
Yeah.
And now they've been hit with these massive bills for furloughing people that, I mean, it must be ridiculously expensive.
But there was also a lot of social pressure. If you hadn't taken the advice to work from home, stay at home where you can, a lot of businesses felt that pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were being pressured by their employees, being pressured by friends, being pressured by... You can't still have people going into work.
No. Oh, no, there was a lot of pressure.
When you think about it, a lot of businesses needed people still to be in work. They hadn't got disaster recovery plans in place. They didn't have probably their IT system set up. They hadn't expected it to be quite as sudden. And if you think about it from a planning point of view, especially from like when, recruitment and talent and looking after people, it was probably all quite a new experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
new. It's new.
Yeah,
to
everyone was pressurised into it. I mean, you kind of guilt tripped even if you are going into work now. I mean, people in construction industry that are going into work, they're getting grief on social media. They're getting grief for actually going into work. It's kind of like frowned upon if you dare step outside your house, which it's one of them. I get it because you're trying to save lives and everything. I do get that, and like we were fairly quick on it, weren't we? We just followed government advice, and as soon as they said if you can work from home, we sent everybody home. But the situation they've got now is they've got to wean people off this idea of being furloughed. They've got to wean people back into work. And that's what they're going to start trying to do over the next, whether it's on Sunday, whether it's over the next 3 or 4 weeks. They're going to slowly start weaning people back out. But
that's if people want to go.
But this is the thing, because people don't, do they? I mean, I've asked a lot of people about this, and even the team, and for as many people, it's one of these 50-50 things. For as many people who are desperate to get back into work or are desperate to get out of the one-bedroom apartment, there's equally those people who are quite happy and they don't want to risk their health or the health of other people by going into work. Because it's going to be a really tricky one. Because it's like with schools, isn't it? Like, if, for example, they said schools, because, we've got three young children. If they said that schools were open on Monday, would you send the kids on Monday?
No. But I don't know if I'm the odd one out. I don't know if it's
But
me.
you're sending them to catch something, aren't you? In the same way that now, if all of a sudden now they said there's music concerts are allowed to go on, and there's a free concert that the government's sponsoring, a Britney Spears concert in Manchester, probably no one would go. But pick an artist like Britney Spears or someone, and it's free. You're going to catch the virus.
We know we're going to catch the virus.
But does everybody else know?
Does the general public, the general
and do they
people,
care?
And do they care? Or are they blasé about it?
Yeah, young people care. But it's
going
to be a really tricky one to actually get people to go back into work, and especially because as well this furloughing money effectively is like basic state income. It's like universal income, which actually makes a lot of sense. And you think I'd be someone who'd be against that, but I actually think it makes a lot of sense. If you imagine now, in most countries, the UK is no different, the amount of, if you want to get benefits, the amount of administration and people, there must be hundreds of thousands of people employed in administrating benefits and fraud and stuff like that. Like people who claim disability allowance, people who claim single parent, tax credits,
universal credit,
the dole or job seekers allowance, all this stuff. Whereas they could replace all that with effectively what they've done, where everyone in the UK, for example, when he turns 16 or whatever it is, gets £1,000 a month. Everyone gets that. And if everybody got that, you could get rid of all those people who administrate. Because everyone gets it. It doesn't matter if you're Rupert Murdoch, or whether you're someone who lives on the streets, whatever, you get your £1,000 a month. And that would stop people from having to live on the streets, actually.
Yeah.
It'd fix a lot of problems. There'd be no administration. There'd be no being able to scam it or fraud it or people claiming it who shouldn't be claiming it, because everybody gets it. And then if you want more than that, you work for it. So that £1,000 a month or whatever it is enough to provide shelter and food and like the essentials. But if you want the latest iPhone or you want Sky TV or something, then you've got to go and get a job.
Yeah.
It'd make it so much more simple. And that's the situation now that countries around the world are in, because they've started doing this. They've got to wean them off it.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting.
It's a very interesting time.
Yeah, I mean, let us know what you think. Are you raring to get back into the office? Are you raring to go to that next music concert? Are you raring to send your team out there? Generally, are you raring to get going? Are you raring to send your kids into school? Let us know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that kind of stuff below, and let us know what you think.
Okay, so Etsy have announced that they are going to charge sellers based on for advertising their products, basically. So Etsy, in order to get people to Etsy, they'll invest in a paid marketing strategy, which probably includes pay-per-click.
I think it's pay-per-click and
mainly
Pinterest
pay-per-click.
and stuff.
So, say you're selling, I don't know, a face mask, for example, that'll then direct the traffic onto Etsy, they will then go on to charge the seller the cost of that, which is about 10. Is it 15%?
Oh, it's at 12%. Yeah, 12 to 15%.
Yeah.
So they're just basically going to start to get more traffic onto Etsy. Etsy are spending money on pay-per-click advertising.
But they're passing that cost then
straight onto you
as a seller.
Which then puts you in no better. Because the reason why people go onto marketplaces like Etsy, eBay, Amazon is you don't have to spend any money on advertising, because they have that volume. But Etsy, everyone knows Etsy. Everyone goes to Etsy. So you list on there and you pay really high fees when you sell something, because Etsy, you've got the brand. They market the brand. Everyone knows Etsy. Everyone's Etsy. Yeah, everyone's Etsy. But when you set up your own business, you don't have that, because you're out in the middle of nowhere. So you've got to spend money on marketing to get people to come to your shop. And so you have to pay marketing costs. But this is kind of like, they want best of both worlds. So they want you to list on Etsy, pay transaction fees when you sell stuff, and you've also got to pay for the marketing people to come to your Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Which seems a bit... That's what Etsy's transaction fees are for.
Yeah, because you might as well employ your own PPC strategy on your own online shop to get your own customers, not to get Etsy's customers that could be directed to you, they could be directed to somebody else. You've absolutely no control of that process.
Because like using the face mask example, and I know there's a big thing on Etsy that people have been making face masks and stuff to help people.
Yeah, the share
you
price
start selling them. It did.
Yeah.
But you start selling face masks, and Etsy start advertising traffic, and someone comes along and undercuts you. You've gone.
Yeah.
You've literally gone. Someone offers the same face mask as what you were making, but cheaper. You've got. So you've got no control over it, and it's. And I know we bang on about this all the time, but if you sell on marketplaces, which you should do, sell on market. You should sell everywhere. You should be everywhere. Everyone wants to be everywhere. Sell everywhere. But remember, you are building Etsy's brand, not your own. You are building Amazon's brand, not your own. You've got to build your own business and your own brand. That's the only way you can survive these sort of things. It's the only way you're going to thrive and expand your business and create something that's got value. And that's the really weird thing with this, isn't it?
Yeah.
And because it must be then you're paying 15% in advertising fees, plus was it 4.5% sale fees, plus credit card processing fees. It's crazy. If you think your margin on a normal product, say, is, if you're looking to have 50% or 20%, 50% for resale, 50%. So of that profit that's left over, you got 15% going in fees, another 4 or 5% in transaction credit card fees, then another 4% in selling. It's like, what?
Yeah,
you're giving more money to Etsy than what you're getting yourself. It's crazy.
Yeah, not taking into account postage costs.
No.
Staff costs if you've got employees.
No, it is crazy.
Okay, so the other thing that's going to come off the back of the current situation that we're in with COVID-19 is, are we going to experience a recession? I think for me and you, we've thought there's been a recession coming for a couple of years, really. I think this is going to exaggerate the situation, and it's going to happen. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've been saying this has been coming for the past year and a half, haven't we? People are fed up of listening to us say that. Because it comes in cycles. There's economic cycles, and at the time, everyone thinks things are great. When things are going up and up and up, it can never end. It's going great, and then it goes down. It's it can't get worse, and it goes. That happens every 7 or 8 years or so, no matter what. And all they play at doing at the moment is extending it with like quantitative easing and stuff. But it happens. You can see it happening, you know it's happening. You know this happens because you can spot it a mile away. When you start seeing people that are maybe on like a fairly lowish salary, driving around in a 40, 50 grand car with the latest £1,500 iPhone, going on fancy holidays, spending thousands. It's kind of like it doesn't compute. It doesn't work out. You're like, it don't work out. You can't afford to do it because it's all on knocking it. It's all debt.
Yeah.
And the thing with debt is it eventually has to get paid. And you can see it a mile off. I mean, we see it obviously in business in terms of you only have to look, pick up a copy of the Financial Times or TechCrunch or something, have a look at that and see these valuations on some of these companies that never have made money, never will make money, and yet they're worth billions. Yeah. And people are rushing over themselves to spend money with them, like to actually invest in them. And that's the problem. But the problem is when it's going good like that, it's great for consumers. So this is great for us. So things like Uber, the fact that that's never made no money, it's great for us though because it's cheap when we want to get a lift anywhere. So it's great for us. It's just no good for the business community, and that's what this is. I mean, they're saying, aren't they, that this article, like the Bank of England warns of sharpest recession on record, it's going to be worse than the Great Depression. Is this? Yeah. It's going to be absolutely immense. The amount of people who are going to lose their jobs. The amount of people, because it all follows through. Because like, you imagine now someone who may be struggling to pay the rent or whatever, or you see it as an opportunity not to pay the rent. They don't pay the rent, so they don't pay the £500 rent because they've got problems going on. Fair enough. That £500 rent then doesn't go to that landlord. Now that landlord might be a builder or something, and he was going to spend that £500 on a new bathroom in one of his other properties or even on his home. That then means the plumber and the tiler and the decorator, they don't get that job, they don't get paid, which means then they can't then go and spend that money. They were going to go and spend it on some bills. It's a vicious circle. It spirals all the way down. It's very easy to say, well, that landlord should be able to cover it. It filters all the way down, and then before you know it, there's mass unemployment, and the job market is just going to stagnate. And people, I think, still in that illusion that things are going to be on the up, things are going to be on the good. That, salaries are going to keep on going up, there's going to be so much opportunity. And it's like...
We've had tons of job applications.
We've had more than ever.
More than ever.
And we get a lot. We get a hell of a lot, don't we? Double digits a day. And it's shot up. Absolutely shot up.
With good people. Really good people.
Yeah. And the problem is, it's one of them. It's supply and demand. If there's more people on the market, the prices go down. It's like anything. And I don't. Again, and I know we keep saying this, but I don't think it's sunk into people how different the world is going to be after this. It's not just going to bounce straight back. It's not going to be just turn back on, everything back to normal. This one, even think about me and you. The money we spend on holidays.
Yeah.
You know, you can watch plenty of vlogs and see us on holiday. Stopped.
Yeah.
That's totally stopped. And it's probably going to be stopped for at least 12 months, if not longer.
I think it'll be longer. I can't see any country wanting to welcome anyone in, can you?
No.
With this going on.
But you imagine that money that would have gone to the local economies, it's gone. And that's
yeah, and then
throughout.
Once it's gone, how can anyone open up? How can they then have the restaurants open for the tourists that aren't going to be there?
Well, they can't, can they? This is that funny thing which we have that on people get, is that certain businesses, like say going buying a car, for example, like the car industry has been decimated. But if you're in the market for a car just before this crisis, you're still going to be in the market for the car in a few months' time. So you're still going to buy one. It's just you're just deferring buying it.
Yeah.
So the car industry, for example, will eventually get that money off you. Going on holiday, though, we've missed it.
Yeah.
Like we missed after the Easter holidays. We missed the Easter holidays. We had a holiday booked at Disney World, didn't we?
Yeah.
Missed that. Got all the money back and everything. But that money.
Not yet.
Well, not yet.
Nearly.
So we're on Virgin Atlantic. So fingers crossed they don't go bust anytime soon.
Most of it.
Yeah. But that money that we would have spent, that's gone. That they can never make that back.
No, because the time's gone.
The time's gone. Yeah. So it's any business that's related to time, like your Starbucks. It's not like every time you would have gone and got a cup of coffee on the way home from work, you're saving that up, and then as soon as it reopens, you're going to go and buy 100.
No, because you're not.
You're not. So that money's gone forever. It's just gone.
Yeah.
And then that filter effect's gone. So this is going to be, there's potential to be really dire. And all governments are doing is printing money, and by printing money, all they're eventually going to do is raise inflation, which means they just take it off everyone's bank pocket, but everyone's bank, don't they, effectively? Will we ever shake hands again? Obviously, with the coronavirus, we don't want to be touching anyone or anything. Will we ever shake hands ever again?
No.
Not think we will.
Well, the reason for shaking hands was originally to show you didn't have a weapon, wasn't it? That's where
that's what they say it is. Yeah.
Comes from. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think it was that.
But I don't want anyone near me.
Well, I've never liked shaking.
You're the worst. You make me do everything. You make me pay for stuff, press all the buttons.
Because I don't like touching stuff.
So you don't like touching stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people don't. But
no,
for some reason that gets dumped on me. But even me now, I wouldn't want to be shaking hands or in any close contact.
I won't miss shaking. I know it's important. I know from like when you talk to people and stuff like having body contact, it is important psychologically, isn't it, and stuff, and like shaking hands and things. But I've never been a fan of shaking hands. I don't like touching people because you don't know where that hand's been. You've no idea where that hand's been, and there's some proper dirty buggers in the world. I mean, even before this, the amount of people, and I'm sure any men watching this can relate to this. That when you go into I mean, it might be the same in women's, but men's toilets, the amount of people who go to the bathroom and leave without washing their hands, it must be a ridiculously high percentage, and you see that all the time, and so just think how many, you don't know what's been on it.
No.
You don't. No. And then you've got to touch it and shake it, and then like your hands then contaminated because you're like that. You're like, I can't touch anything. If I touch my phone, I've infected my phone. So you're like that. It's horrible.
Yeah. You said, we were talking, weren't we, a few days ago, saying it probably will become socially acceptable to challenge somebody when you meet them. Like, have you washed your hands? Are you clean? Are you? I think it will be, and it's gonna be really, really strange.
I hope it will.
I still feel like it's a bit Handmaid's Tale-ish. We're all going to be going around wearing masks
and gloves,
and there'll be a massive market for gloves.
Yeah. It's not going to be nice, that though.
Not going to be nice.
I think I touched on that last week. It's like you're not going to want to be going out wearing gloves and face masks and all that sort of being covered up.
Yeah, you're going to be like an astronaut in a
Yeah, I know. It's going to be
a little bodysuit.
It's not going to be pleasant, is it?
No.
Just your eyes peeping out, kind of. It's not nice that having to actually do that.
No.
It is like something like Handmaid's Tale.
It is like Handmaid's Tale.
You should watch that if you've not watched it. It's quite relevant to, I suppose, what's going on in the world at the moment. Yeah. So you don't think we will ever shake hands again? No? Never again?
think it'll be a long
I think people will be
time. I think
conscious of it.
I think people will do it. I think it's just a natural instinct that you will go. Like when people come for interviews, generally they try to shake your hands. I think you're going to have signage up saying no physical contact.
Well, yeah,
I know we don't conduct interviews. Like, you know, we have the video stages and all different ways of doing it. But
interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you going to be rushing out shaking people's hands
Yeah.
once you're released, or not? Let us know what you think. Comment below.
thank you for watching.
Or listening if you're listening to the podcast, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you think everything's going to go back to normal? Do you think
just
it's
let
will
us
change
know.
forever? We just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, we really do appreciate the comments. It lets us know that this is worthwhile doing. It's worthwhile us trying to do this with kids running around and everything. Yeah, thank you for watching.
Goodbye.